So, will everyone please welcome up Dr. Murphy Redfield, a gamer pediatrician.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very excited to be here. Very excited to tell you about my processes, my little program I'm setting up here, and talk about technology a little bit. I am Dr. Murphy Redfield. Pleasure to meet you all again. Glad to be here. Can we go ahead and pull up the show right next to me? Got my presentation right here. We're going to talk about adolescent life lessons through video games. Going to go on the other side. Going on the other side of the frame over here. Again, I'm Dr. Murphy Redfield. I'm a pediatrician. I'm a father of two. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. And first and foremost, I want to get this right out of the way, probably relieve some people. I am, in fact, a gamer. I'm a gamer, really big fan of video games, of the technology that is making us thrive and survive in this new landscape. And also the huge catalog of artistic, interactive experiences that have been made from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Video games are very important to me, as you can see from my, placing it as a stethoscope here, a PlayStation 2 controller. This is a DualShock, has both analog sticks, and will vibrate when there's an enemy around or if I'm hit in a video game. Now, first things first, here's my credentials. As you can see here, I'm bona fide. Although, more importantly, like I mentioned, I'm a father. Next slide. This is my son, Tanichi. I'm very proud of this young man over here. He's an athlete. He's a star student as far as most subjects go. He's working on a lot of things right now. He's a very ambitious young man with a lot of dreams and hopes and ideas. Okay? I want to support him. I care about him. Next slide. This is my other son, Alphonse. And he means well. Lord knows that much. It's a little bit of a struggle for him, obviously. By no means is he a, medically special needs child, but Lord knows he needs a little bit more help from his mother. And I don't resent him for that at all. Do not resent him for that at all. Next slide. Thank you. I love my sons. As you can see here, they're part of my blood. They're part of my tree. And yet, there's still that generational gap. There always will be. That's part of every little facet of life. So how can I get these two kids over here, to come a little closer to me? What's the one thing they have in common, despite the fact that Tanichi's a star, while Alphonse is a struggling white dwarf planet? Well, got to the next slide. Video games. Video games are the things that connect these two different children together. I see them playing Rocket League every evening. I see them playing Overwatch and Fortnite and so much and so forth. Watching people play Fortnite and Overwatch, so on and so forth. And have you seen the numbers that these video games pull with the streamers and the Let's Players on YouTube? Next slide. It's incredible. If we can take these numbers and these eyes and apply them to our attention that we receive from our children, then we'd actually have a better handling on parenting. Next slide. I think video games can be used as a tool. Video games are made by man, for man, to help fellow man learn how to live and thrive. Think about learning how to fly a plane or to shoot a gun. If you're flying a plane, you're essentially playing Ace Combat, same controls, same cockpit panel, if you will. We can apply these principles that video games teach us for much more fantastical adventures into life, because life is a game after all, folks. Life is a game. Get that through your skull right now. That is lesson 1. Life is a game. Y'all understand that now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next slide.
Fuzzy.
Good. I know you guys get it. You're adults. We're catching up. This is for the kids, remember. This is specifically for the kids. As an adult, I'm trying to bridge my relationship with my kids. Next slide. There I am at the end. There are my two sons on the other side. And there is a Matt Cat's Xbox One controller as the bridge. Next slide. Let's get into it, okay? That's, I don't know why that's in there. It looks like my son Alphonse drowning. Let's just move past that right there. Don't worry about that. It's a little hiccup, I'm sure. Next slide. Yeah, I don't want to see my son drowning. Next slide. I don't know why that's in there. Okay, so using video games to teach our kids life lessons. Let's take our first example here, dental care. As a parent, you know that this is an absolute nightmare. Brushing your teeth, teaching your kids to brush your teeth. Not fun. Makes your mouth burn. Nevertheless, it's important. And yet it's hard to reach children and let them understand this because all they know is the pain. So we got to recontextualize it. Remember, life is a game. Next slide. The enemy of life in this case is plaque on your teeth. The weapon, your toothbrush, and your toothpaste. Let's look at a video game that can kind of gamify this concept and teach your kids something they might need to know. Let's play the video.
No rush.
This is a clip from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. As you can see here, we're going to add a little context here. The innocent civilians over there are plaque, and the machine gun is the toothbrush.
Wow. That is...
Oh, absolutely. Yes. No, this burned a lot of trust with the media of video
there it
games.
goes
Absolutely.
again.
We're going to play it again. That's okay. If we have to, it's fine. Just to, get it in their heads. Remember, I'm trying to show children these clips in video games, okay? Because that can help them understand, oh, it is important for me to brush my teeth. There are stakes. Next example.
I just want to make a quick disclaimer. I'm so sorry if you have any use your discretion. I don't. Okay. There are going to apparently be some images that are not suitable for all ages. So just be aware. I was not expecting that clip, but I'm still excited to hear more about your presentation.
That's
thank you.
fair. I would actually contextualize it as it's not for all people. This could be for certain people of almost all ages, but some people, absolutely not. And that's okay. Video games are just not for everybody, but it seems like the younger the generations go, the wider the net video games cast. Next slide. Let's go to another example over here. Vegetables, another absolute obstacle that parents have to go through in teaching their kids. It is important to eat your vegetables. It is good for your body. It is undeniably icky. No one can turn that fact down. Let's gamify it again. So, with eating something, it reminds you of what?
Food.
Food.
That's okay. I should have maybe given a little more. In a video game, when you are injured, bleeding, or missing a limb of some sorts, you need to what?
Think positively.
Use your gun.
Crawled behind something.
He's the closest. You're all right. He's the closest. Because when you hide behind something in a game like Call of Duty, what are you doing?
Hiding.
Fearing.
Regenerating your health. Regenerating your health. In other video games like Castlevania, you eat a whole turkey dinner, all of a sudden, boom, you're full life. Your life bar is full. Now, getting your kids to eat your...
Donkey Kong video game, you would eat oranges.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And yet, we tell our kids this. They try it. Vegetables still taste like duty, to put it lightly. So you got to reverse the psychology a little bit, trick them, and convince them that, again, it's a weapon, it's a tool that they are using. Next slide, please. Reverse the psychology. Now, say this quote out loud verbatim to your children. Vegetables are the weapon to kill the bad things in your body. It might not feel good, but it is important. I want you all to say that to your kids, regardless if you take care of my program or what. If you become a part of the movement, if you even disagree with me, I want you to at least say that one statement to your children, okay? So, vegetables. Let's get another video game example of using vegetables as a weapon against the bad things in your body.
Think about what you have to lose.
Where are the vegetables?
The vegetables are broken glass, put it in your mouth.
Oh, I feel so much.
Go ahead and just get it in there. Shove it down. Just shove it down. Force it. I know it tastes icky. I know broccoli has that weird texture that's kind of hairy, like you're biting into a cold cat of some sort. But when you eat the broccoli, it's going to help you out. It's going to kill the enemy, if you will. So I want to kind of get a little more interactive with this, folks. I'm going to show you a video game clip next, and then I want to get your guesses or your analyses of what this is trying to teach as a life lesson. You in the chat as well. Watch this clip here, and then tell me what you think the lesson is to learn from it. This is from Resident Evil 4. Let's go ahead and play the clip, Mr. Brain.
Alright, I think I got this one.
It's almost done. Almost done.
Oh, I thought I knew it when I saw that.
Oh, goodness.
Point.
These are the stuff of nightmares.
All right. Little pop quiz. What are you thinking?
Is it about when your head gets eaten by a monster?
All right, let's get some other guesses in there.
I
Are the-
couldn't guess what's happening. I just have a deep sexual energy now from what just happened.
That's fair.
I would only assume the monsters represent vegetables, and them destroying yourself is reflexive of them doing the good things in your own body.
I love your instinct. I feel like you're on the right track here, but I'm not that one. I'm not that single-minded. This is not just a one-way road.
We got some guesses from the chat here.
There is some guesses from
Yeah, user Truth Krishna Maurice says Krishna Maurice is the archetype of Satan's siren.
I think he said distrust. Distrust was his pick.
Distrust is the pick for the
That
video
was a
games.
mistype. He was talking
Interesting.
about something else.
I could see how that works. And you know, video games can be used for a lot of things like conflict resolution. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But if we pull the next slide, I'll show you what that was actually a clip of. Portion control.
Oh.
You get a big piece of chicken, you're looking
now.
at it, you want to eat the whole thing,
Yes.
gobble it down.
course.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to gain too much weight, and you're going to get jaundiced, and you're going to start feeling sleepy. So you cut up that chicken, you save a little bit of it later on, and you eat a little bit now. It's like they were cutting the heads off of amateur cop Leon S. Kennedy in Resident Evil 4. Although at that point he was on a mission to save the president's daughter. Resident Evil 2, he was an amateur cop. Let's get to the next video game here. And the next life topic. Next slide, please. Potty training. And here's the point where I want to tell you that I want this program and this idea to span multiple age ranges and types of people in this life. So potty training, much younger, definitely, but you can still use video games to teach this lesson here. Let's gamify it. Objective, urinate into the hole, the toilet. Basic gameplay element of life, you are aiming. Now this example I use here, I used on my son Alphonse. It took him a little while to really understand it, so I had to add in some stakes. I had to take a really intense concept here. You know, for aiming, we could have taken a Fortnite thing. He's sniping, trying to hit a bay of hail or something like that. But Alphonse is special, like I mentioned before. So I had to kind of really pound it in there, make him understand how important it is to hit the toilet and not the seat around him. Let's play the clip.
Step 1.
This is Dead Space 2 by
Wrong
EA
side.
and Visceral Games.
This kind of looks like that Gravity movie.
Screws so tight.
Yeah, you know what? Alfonso Cuarón actually took inspiration from the Dead Space video games. Now, again, my son, Alphonse, he has a penis, so that's his right there, and the toilet is the eye of Dr. Isaac Clarke. And if you miss the toilet, you make a big old mess. That's just a shame.
Oh, it looks kind of like he made it in there.
It looks like he made the toilet.
It's true. Maybe it went there like kind of too hard.
too much.
Exactly.
He peed too hard into
It
the
could also
toilet.
teach you a
If you
lesson
pee
of
too much, it's
of
bad.
Yeah.
distance
I had
from
that
the
problem
toilets.
for a while where I was peeing too hard.
Exactly. If you're at a urinal, that could splash back on your khakis. It's
I'd
gonna
be
be
drenched.
visible.
Yeah, if you're excited.
I'd just
Exactly
be
right.
drenched
It's
in
an
my own
expression.
piss sometimes.
See, this is bridging problems that you have as an adult with someone that like a 3-year-old that would be struggling
it's
with.
true. You're never too old to learn to piss.
Exactly
Absolutely.
right. Thank you. You guys are really getting. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad to be on here. I'm honored to be part of this. Let's go to our last example here. Now, as I was saying, there's a program of sorts. I'm trying to do a Let's Play series, some live stream events in order to teach these kids these lessons. But also, I know that every child is different and that we can actually, learn how to pinpoint our usage of video games to specific needs. Let's go to the next slide over here. Again, this is my son, Alphonse. It's the only picture I have of him. But Alphonse, on his first day of school, was very nervous. He was very nervous to be meeting new people, to be eating new food that he's not familiar with, and just in general learning things that are way out of his depth. School's just a really intense environment. It's like throwing a rabbit into a lion's pen. So I pulled aside on the curb,
pulled out my phone and I made this video for him and I showed it to him, just to show him the things that he's going to have to deal with in life. Can't make it all bubblegum and color and fun. This is life. This is the truth. These are the things you're going to encounter, especially in school. Let's go ahead and play the clip I showed him.
I'm looking forward to this.
We got it, Mr. Brain.
Oh.
Life's going to be hard.
Oh.
Life's going to be a little difficult sometimes. People are going to get in your way. They're not going to understand who you are, what you stand for, where you come from.
Beautiful. Oh,
You
So I
edited
sh-
this on your phone?
Yes, I showed this to him in silence.
magnificent.
Telepathically, I was telling him, son, I understand the pain that you're going to be
no.
going through and how scared
What it
you
would
are.
feel to die in
But I'm with you.
How old is your son?
At the time, he was about, let's see, that was the first day of first grade. So I'd say he's about 7.
poetic.
Oh, no.
Again, I didn't tell him any of this
no.
supportive,
There, what a moment.
supportive
Oh, no.
words verbally. I told it telepathically. I just stared at him as he watched the footage
Oh.
over
I
here.
feel like I've
I
seen
feel like we kinda get
we
it. Yeah.
I know you guys get it, but remember, the kids at
it's
home, I
delightful.
almost want to play it again just so the kids can see
Yeah,
it.
no, I
getting
think
down.
we're
love the
fine on that.
spine.
You showed this to your 7-year-old son?
Yes, absolutely.
Does anyone think that's a little inappropriate for children that age?
I'm
just
sorry,
riveted.
but life isn't censored, and you can't really.
That's actually very good. That's a very good point you're making.
Yeah,
Thank
he's
you,
got
Krishna.
a point. Life is not censored.
Life is not censored, and you cannot save
a
them
very good
from
point he's
every little
making.
dark thing
My
in
church
life. So I'm
talks
just
about
trying to
that
show
already.
them the raw realness of what life is going to give them. I can't stop it. I can drop them off at school. I can't wait by the gate, hoping that no one's going to be running over my son with a golf cart or beating him up for his lunch money because he comes from a rich family.
Amen.
I'm sorry I'm so heated. I'm just very passionate, and I'm excited to present my ideas in front of a panel such as yours. I hope that you can consider funding my project. I believe, next slide, that we can definitely use the $50,000
What?
for good use. Yes, thank you very much. I'll start the bidding.
Huh?
Where did that come from?
Was there a money element?
I didn't know we could win $50,000.
Wait, this is a competition?
I was under the impression that it was. I thought this was a Shark Tank type show where you're looking into funding.
Where did you get that notion?
I don't know what you're referring to. This is the only version of everything now. There is no other version that would offer money or any other past versions that would do that.
I'm a little confused. I thought there was this long-haired guy with a hat. There's a big
Sounds like
check.
you're wrong, sir.
No.
Please don't mention.
cool, though.
Please don't mention anything about long hairs
All
or
right,
hats.
okay. I'll back away. It's not my lane. But the point is that if you were a patron, Patreon, would you consider funding this kind of thing and showing it to your kids? I think there's benefits, and it was just on display right there, and it was worth $50,000.